Hey, this is Tom Challen back here with PriorityTeam.com. In the next video, I want to share with you, in fact, we're going to continue on this people skills specifically for prospecting and the difference between why people struggle in a home-based business recruiting and some people have great success, and why it takes a long time for some of us, and again, including me, on really understanding this art form of learning how to recruit more people into your home-based business. And of course, the difference between why people quit and why people are willing to be exposed, get some strategic coaching, and move past that. And you know, so many people, they get involved in a home business, and the question that I always get is, I don't want to sell. But the first thing I'm going to share with you guys is the reason why so many of you and your team members are not recruiting is you think you're a good conversationalist, but really what most of you are doing is you're schmoozing your prospect. You're either schmoozing them, which is basically selling. Let me give you some examples of what I mean by selling. And the worst part about it is most of my clients that I'm coaching, they're selling me when I'm role-playing with them or when I hear them actually prospecting live. Because I get to hear these recordings of my prospects, hundreds and hundreds of them over the last year of recordings of you guys and my clients prospecting people. And the thing that I hear the most is, again, I don't want to sell, but when I hear them prospecting, all they're doing is selling. And here's some examples of what I mean. It's very subtle. And the worst part about it is they don't know that they're doing it, or you may not know that you're doing it. Let me give you an example. One of them is over-agreeing. Oh, wow, that sounds interesting. Okay, wow, so you're in sales already, Tom. Wow, okay, wow, that sounds interesting. Wow, oh yeah, okay, wow. Now I'm over-exaggerating, but when I listen to the recordings, that's what it sounds like. So every time I say something like, yeah, I have 4 little girls. Wow, that must be amazing, you know, and they're schmoozing. Now, I'll just admit something right now. I am not a perfect prospector. Even though I know how to enroll over 500 people in 1 year and have recruited thousands personally, I'm always learning how to get better. I even listen to my own recordings and I hear myself doing this one because I'm an excitable kind of guy, right? As you can tell, I like to just kind of get out there and have some fun with prospects. So I get caught up in that myself. It's something I have to refrain my own words on when I'm prospecting. And that's why I've been recording myself lately going, oh man, what I've been coaching people on is what I'm doing too. So it's very subtle sometimes. And again, it's okay to do it once in a while, like saying, wow, that's interesting. So you do ice hockey at night. Now, you know, it's okay to do that a little bit. But again, when you're overly doing it, your prospect subconsciously and consciously is going to realize, you know what, this guy's just trying to sap me or smooze me or be overly nice. What's his hidden agenda? See, your prospect already does not trust you. And if you're overly sappy, which also that means your posture's low, meaning you're more begging them to get involved in your business, you're more pitching them or trying to schmooze them and be overly nice, it's not how you prospect. It's definitely not how you prospect higher quality and recruit more people in shorter period of time. Okay, does that make sense? All right, filling in your own ideas and your own thoughts into the conversation. Let me give you an example, and this one really gets to me. You know, a lot of times when I'm out and about or I talk to salespeople or just anybody in general, in fact, when I role play with my clients, they do this with me as well. You know, they say, so Tom, how many, you married with kids? They say, yeah, I'm married, been married for 12 years, and I have 4 little girls. And as soon as I say that, the next thing that comes out of their mouth, my clients, is, wow, you better get a shotgun when you get older. Wow, those weddings are going to be expensive. You know, wow, you better be saving up some money for college. Gosh, that must be an awful handful. In reality, no, it's amazing. And every single year, it's just a journey that I'm going on in my life. Please don't fill in what your thoughts are about my life. Does that make sense? And see, don't do that with your prospects either. You know, so if someone is into, let's say they ice hockey at night, like I just had this the leader that I was talking to, and he ice hockey. I'm like, wow, so how long you been doing the ice hockey? That was my question. Instead of saying, wow, that must be a rough sport. You know, gosh, yeah, my friend was in ice hockey, and you don't throw in your own, don't interject and start throwing in your own words after they tell you something, even if it incredibly relates to something that you like as well. Okay, let me give you another example. Let me give you another example of how you could get away with it a little bit. Let me just give you an example. So if you're into horseback riding and you have a ranch, let's say you have horses yourself, and your prospect says, yeah, I raise quarter-bred, I think it's quarter horses on my farm here in Idaho. And you may say, oh, I have horses too. But what you immediately want to do is say, by the way, now what is, tell me, what is quarter horses, what do you actually do with them? Do you sell them, or do you ride them, or do you train them or show them? What do you do with your quarter horses? Is it just for fun? That's a genuinely curious question. And again, instead of putting the spotlight back on you and start talking about yourself or your horses. Because what I've learned, and I've studied this after, again, talking to thousands upon thousands of people, is as soon as you get the conversation off of you, off of your prospect, and you start talking about I, me, you, right? You're losing their interest. They're not trusting you as much. They're being distracted. You're not building that rapport, and you're not doing what I talked about on that last video, which is vital ingredients to getting your prospect to, for one, even show up when you call them back after being on your audio, your website, your local presentation, conference call. Some of you are asking, well, Tom, my ratios stink when I call people back. They're never there. The reason why they're not there is because they don't trust you. Or another reason why is because they're just flat out not qualified and you're trying to drag them over the finish line of recruiting them. Does that make sense? There's a couple different reasons for that. So, and you're giving them, here's another thing. So you're filling them, you're interjecting with your own thoughts. The last part of that I wanted to share is that you're giving them too much information, which is another form of selling. You don't want to sell, but on that first conversation, especially you don't want to do this on the first conversation, is start getting into your company details or compensation details, or starting to interject how simple your business is and what makes you different and why they should get involved with you. Pitching and selling, you don't want to do it. The purpose of that first call is to get them to like and trust you, find out if they're qualified, and do all the formula that I talked about in that first video. All right. So, in fact, I got another big one here, but I'm going to save it for the next video. So check back in the next video. Again, this is Tom Challen with PriorityTeam.com, and I'll see you in the next video.